Good morning, lovies. Some people wonder why I like animals in nature more than people. In general, I love many people. I have many friends that I just adore, and I adore children, and of course, I adore my love, Kirsten. I'm going to give you an example why I don't like people. Last night, as we were driving back to our campsite, we discovered that our radiator heater core is no longer working, which is not a good sign for someone who wants to travel across, for some people, us, who want to travel across country in a car that's got almost 400,000 miles on it. So we were not in the best space already. As we pulled into the campsite, we noticed the heater wasn't working. I already said that. But as we pulled into the campsite, there were two very
Starving.
starving, ready to eat. It was pretty late already. We were out later than we wanted to be. As we pulled in, two very portly hillbillies were parked in our spot at our campsite with their hound dog out and waving us to just go by. Well, our tent is there, our dishes are out. It's obvious there's someone in this camp area. And they say, "We're hunting." This is a national forest, people. There are campgrounds all down the roads. We've heard them in the night before with their hound dog going crazy
For hours.
in the middle of the damn night, practically. And now they're parked in our campsite and they're waving us to go by. And I very firmly said, "This is our camping spot." "Oh, you're camping." And they got their shit up and they left. Well, we get out of the car and the first thing we realize is, oh my, our camp stove is gone. And that's our only means of cooking. And we were very hungry. And what we needed to eat was something you needed to heat up. So then we had to go old school. And it's been very wet here in North Carolina, is where we are. And so we had to go old school. We had to go gather wood while it's still barely light out. I'm getting the timing wrong. Because we ate first, then we left and came back, and the hillbillies were in our spot. We had to go
Other
down.
people still, well, it might have been them.
We think someone else got into the camp stove, not the hillbilly hunters.
Maybe. Who
The
knows?
hillbilly hunters, we don't think actually stole the camp stove because I got the timing a little off. They were here when we came back later after we ate. Well, anyway, backtracking back to when we realized we didn't have a camp stove, we had to go gather firewood. It was late already, but it was still a little daylight left. So we had to
A
make
nice camp stove, I might add.
a nice camp stove. So we made our food, we built the fire, burned it down to coals, made our food. Been about 9 o'clock at night. We finally got to eat, which we don't like to do. We like to eat around 4. So we were way off our schedule. And so we go down then because we needed to send a text out for a possible situation so we don't have to live in the woods anymore. And we come back, and that's when the hillbillies, the portly hillbilly hunters, were in our spot, waving us to go around.
Are you
our
fat
camping.
shaming? Do you need to add the word portly?
Well, they were very portly, and I might add they were in their 60s at least, maybe older. So I was very surprised and very put off by the whole situation. But my mind was on many different things in that moment. So after we had our food, so then we go to bed. Finally, we get to bed, and then in the morning, I get the fire going again because I know the only way we're going to have coffee is to do it the old-fashioned way. And what, lo and behold, do I realize? Not only did they take our camp stove, and they actually, I should add, they cleaned up a little bit. Not that it was messy, but we had some things strewn about. They gathered, whoever stole the camp stove actually organized our campsite a little bit. Not much, but a little. And I guess for payment, they required the camp stove. But we didn't realize until I went to make coffee is they took our French press as well. So whoever needed that camp stove actually needed to make some coffee, I guess. So they needed the French press too. I'm really glad we didn't leave our coffee behind because I'm certain that would be gone. Fortunately, Kirsten had her own French press when I picked
Yay!
her up. And we didn't get rid of it, which would usually be the case with us, is we don't want to have two things because, everything we have is in the car. but we kept it.
Of
So I
course.
was able to make coffee, thank goodness, and here we are enjoying our coffee with a beautiful fire, with beautiful company, and a beautiful nature setting. And yes, people, this is why I have a hard time with human beings.
But it's not just that one story. For the past 5 years, we could tell you we will.
Many stories.
And we don't want to just talk about, we see all the bright spots in nature as well. We see all the bright spots of humanity's kindness. We enjoy that. We love that. But there are so many fucking rude assholes in the world. And that's just the way it goes. But they're all on their own journeys.
We have met many, many very colorful characters along our
Colorful.
journey.
Very.
And that's saying it nicely.
Well, people might think that we're colorful
Oh,
characters.
absolutely. We are the rainbow people.
Yep. Poncho,
The Poncho loves his area. Look at him. He's on his bed.
have a great day. Don't let anybody take your French press or your camp stove. Keep it in, people. Keep it in.